All right, let's dive in. We're talking about one of the biggest challenges on the entire SAT, the reading section. See, it's not really a test of how well you understand literature. It's a battle against the clock. And today, I'm going to show you how to win.
So let me ask you something. Do you think you need to be some kind of superhuman speed reader to get a top score?
It's what everyone thinks, right?
Well, it's also a total myth.
And this really gets to the heart of it. The students who are crushing this test aren't just reading faster. They're moving through the questions in a smarter, more strategic way. It's about how you move, not how fast you read. So, let's start by pointing out who the real enemy is here. It's not that super dense science passage or some confusing text from the 1800s. Nope. Your number one opponent is the clock, ticking away. Here's the reality. For each module in the digital SAT reading section, you get exactly 32 minutes. That's your entire budget. And the first step to beating the clock is knowing exactly how much time you have to spend. And that leads us to the golden rule, the one you absolutely cannot break. On your first time through the questions, you never, ever spend more than 75 seconds on a single one. If a question is putting up a fight, you don't get into a brawl. You flag it and you move on. Period. Which brings us to probably the single most powerful strategy you can use. We call it the two-pass strategy. This isn't just a clever tip. This is the system that elite scorers use to own this section. So here's how it works. On your first pass, you're just grabbing points. You answer all the easy questions, all the medium ones, the low-hanging fruit. Then on your second pass, you go back for the tougher ones you skipped. The beautiful thing is you've already got a bunch of points in the bag, the pressure's way down, and you can think so much more clearly. So you're probably wondering, what should I actually skip? Well, the prime candidates are those long paired passages where you have to compare two texts, or those really dense science articles full of jargon. And for sure, any of those inference questions that just feel kind of foggy. If it doesn't click right away, just skip it. Now, why are we making such a big deal about this? Because getting good at just this one strategy can boost your score by 80 to 120 points. Seriously, that's not just a small improvement, that is a total game changer. It's often the difference between the score you have and the score you want. Now, using this strategy completely changes how you should read in the first place. You've actually got to unlearn some old habits. Because trust me, the SAT is nothing like your English class. Think about it. In English class, you're supposed to read slowly, admire the metaphors, and appreciate the beautiful writing. If you do that on the SAT, you're gonna run out of time. Your mission here is totally different. You are a detective. You're there to find the main claim, track the evidence, and get out. That's it. And this is so, so important to understand. Getting faster isn't about just forcing your eyes to move across the page more quickly. Real speed comes from selective attention, from knowing exactly what to look for and what to ignore. It's all about focus. Okay, so you've read the passage with a clear purpose. Now you've got to face the next big hurdle, the answer choices themselves. You literally have to learn how to outsmart the people who design them. I've loved this quote because it's just so true. SAT answer choices are designed to mess with your head. The wrong answers are intentionally written to sound good. They'll use words from the passage, but twist the meaning just enough to make you doubt yourself. So how do you beat them at their own game? With this simple little trick. predict before you peak. It's a two-step process. First, answer the question in your own words in your head based on the text. Then, and only then, you look at the choices and find the one that matches what you already thought. It's like a shield that protects you from their sneaky tricks. You've also got to be on the lookout for the classic time traps. Like spending way too much time on an easy question or rereading the same paragraph 3, 4, 5 times. And the biggest one of all, getting stuck debating between two answers that both sound pretty good. And hey, here's a little pro tip for that last trap. If you find yourself stuck between two answers that seem almost identical, there's a really good chance they're both wrong. It's a classic trick. The right answer is often a third choice you might have overlooked. Remember, there can only be one perfect answer. Okay, let's pull all these ideas together into your official game day plan. This is all about how you finish the section strong, especially when you feel like you're stuck. First things first, on the digital SAT, there is no penalty for guessing. So you never, ever, ever leave an answer blank. The goal is to guess smart. So you look at the options, eliminate the two that are obviously wrong. Take your best shot between the last two, and then, this is the most important part, you move on. And this really gets at the mindset you need to have. Trying to get every single question right is perfectionism, and it will absolutely kill your score because it slows you down. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Just keep collecting points and keep moving. But look, none of this is going to work on test day unless you make it a habit now. That means every single time you do practice problems, you do it with a timer. You have to feel what that 75-second pace is like over and over again, so it becomes second nature. This part is completely non-negotiable. So let's boil it all down. What are the big takeaways? Number 1, you are in control. Control your pace. Number 2, skipping isn't a sign of weakness. It is your most powerful strategic tool. Use it. And finally, number 3, after you've banked all those easy points, you return to the hard questions with time to spare and the confidence to nail them. So I'll just leave you with this question. The clock doesn't have to be your enemy. It's just part of the test. Once you learn how to master it and it stops controlling you, what do you think your score could really be?